Do you want to make money playing the game we all love to hate? That being CSGO, obviously. It wouldn't be anything else, you know me at this point. Well, here's how. I'm Orion, and this is how to actually go pro in CSGO. So for starters, step 1, you need to get used to the competitive game, just in general, in matchmaking. Now, obviously throughout this, you just need a base understanding of the game. Just simply put, if you don't have your fundamentals, there's no way you can progress. Obviously, matchmaking is the default thing that most people go to. And so here, it'd be best if you had at least a base understanding of the game to get by. So learning how to play the game should be your focus at this stage. This will include aim, movement, and game sense. Now, thankfully, aim and movement can be practiced in workshop maps. You can practice them in free-for-all deathmatch servers, but personally I recommend the CSGO Hub workshop map, which will be hopefully linked in the description if I remember to do that, that is. But in all honesty, game sense itself can only really be practiced by playing competitive games of Counter-Strike. So essentially, play a lot of matchmaking and get comfortable with what you're doing first. Step 2, once you're comfortable with the game, join Faceit and start playing on there. At this stage, you should really know and understand most maps, though with that being said, a lot of people on Faceit only play Mirage and Inferno. I've never played many games on maps that aren't Mirage and Inferno, in all honesty. So if you want to focus on them two maps, go ahead, but that's not recommended, as personally for me, I think it's a good thing to sort of make sure that you can play all of the active duty maps. The only exception really is Anubis, but we'll talk about map knowledge later. Though what I will say, map vetoes are quite unpredictable. Realistically, I've played Dust. I think I've played Anubis on Faceit, which was weird. I didn't think I'd be playing Anubis on Faceit within the first week of it being out, but there we were, playing Faceit and not having a clue what we were doing. Now I just want to ask, if you're liking this video so far, please hit like. I really would appreciate it. It helps boost my stature in the YouTube algorithm, and hopefully, you know, might help me in the future. So step 3, this is a bit of an optional one, but if you are going to university or if you're American college, look out for any Esports Societies. Esports Societies will allow you essentially to compete against other universities. And, you know, I've been playing in university tournaments. I've been playing against teams nationwide, all the way from Durham to London. I've been all over the place playing for my university. That's a lie, I've never played on LAN. But yeah, there are a lot of university tournaments out there. Here in the UK we have Newell and NSE. I'm not 100% sure if or what actually there is available elsewhere, but it might be an extra helpful step. Now, personally, I did stop playing for my university. There's a lot of reasons, but I'm going to follow up this video with a video tomorrow on sort of why I did that. So please make sure you're subscribed so you can see that video, and also make sure you hit the bell icon, because again, that helps me. Now at this point, you should really know every current active duty map besides Anubis. The reason I say that is because Anubis is so new, it's only been... So realistically, everyone's still learning how to play Anubis. I guess from what I've seen and heard, it's very much T-sided, which is interesting for CS. A lot of maps have a CT lean at the minute. Now at this point, it might be beneficial to also start playing in Faceit hubs. Some examples of things in the UK and Europe are UKIC, which is owned by my favourite esports org, so hi. Or there is ECL, owned by a French YouTuber I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. There's also Mythic League if you're in NA, And honestly, there's tons of Faceit hubs, you know, they're all very different, but obviously those are the ones, the big ones that I know myself. Obviously, I recommend you doing your own research on Faceit hubs local to you, because, you know, say you're in Poland, it might be best for you to be part of Pasha Biceps hub. So there might be one better suited for you and your language or your play style. So step 4 would be to start playing ESEA Open. Now, this is the big one. This is where things start to get quite serious and really quite tricky. You are up against so many good players. Trust me, I've had my arse handed to me. So for those of you who don't know, ESEA is a league system that essentially can lead to ESL Pro League. Though that being said, you have to be the top of the top of teams in the world to get there. Now, while ESEA does offer pugs, you're better off playing them on Faceit. Trust me, ESEA pugs take forever to get. So, you know, on Faceit you'll actually get games. Obviously at this point, you should know all the maps. You should have good aim, crosshair placement, movement, all of that stuff. Otherwise, you are going to get your arse handed like I have. Fun story, I don't think I've actually had a game where I've been positive in ESEA Open. Just a fun little fact to tell you how absolutely terrible I am. So I guess lastly, outside of ESEA Open, this is where things start to get a bit messy. Now, there's a number of ways you can progress past ESEA. Obviously, you can continue to play ESEA. You qualify for the further leagues like Advanced, Intermediate, Main, potentially ESL Challenger. But, you know, that does require a team. Now, depending on how good you are as an individual or even as a team, you could try working to qualify for a national championship. So, for instance, ESL does offer national championships in a lot of countries, including the UK. I love UK CS, by the way. So, you know, I love my ESL UK Premiership. It's not much, but we love it for what it is. Or potentially, if you're an absolutely outstanding individual player, you could continue to grind Faceit pugs and hopefully do it within hubs and work towards FPLC. Now, making it to FPLC, that starts to get you recognized by teams and coaches, so that could be the start of something very exciting if you're into that. Obviously, that does mean you have to play Faceit pugs a lot, but potentially it could be another way in the door. Now, realistically though, you should be streaming games if you're going to do that, because, you know, trying to gain a following is quite important, especially if you're a pug player. And obviously, getting yourself out there can never be a bad thing. I always try and make sure that people I know are streaming often so that they can at least get their name out there. At this point, you might even start getting invited to tournaments based on placings from other events. Now, if you potentially want me to make a video on further paths, let me know in the comments. Though I will admit, I am not 100% sure at further things, because I am nowhere near there. I am just an ESEA Open scrub who plays bad. Now, the general theme of the process that I've sort of tried to sort of repeat is really just get your ass handed to you, realistically, at the start. Get used to things being at that level, and then challenge yourself to see how far you can go, and then continue to sort of do that cycle over and over again so that you can progress. But in all honesty, that's all I can really say for this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that, you know, makes me look good. We all love that. I've been